What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Mortgage Game. Last week I was at a roundtable and a subject had came up, and I kind of just want to talk about it. But first, before I do that, I want to thank all the union members, the nurses, the teachers, the firefighters, the police, the steelworkers, the plumbers, everybody, the electricians. If I forgot you, thank you. But the second part also is I want to say this is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. What this guy had brought up in the roundtable, and I think his side was a little bit more than ours. He did a lot of veteran loans. But what he's saying is that you see a lot of union members who have credit unions. And in those credit unions, they're going in, they're doing a blind faith on all the interest rates and the products, whether it's a car, a credit card, or a mortgage. And I've worked a little bit on, I've been in sales for 20 years. I've worked at a couple banks, sold cars for a couple years, and now I'm at a pretty big mortgage broker. And I've seen some things. I've seen amazing deals at credit unions. I've seen one time a guy came in, couldn't get approved at our bank, went right over to his credit union approved him in like an hour. It was amazing. So you should have a credit union. I've seen some purchase deals in Los Angeles at there's thousands of credit unions. One of them was amazing. I couldn't even believe it. I said, this can't be real. Called, make sure, and the guy was like, it's real. I was like, that's an amazing deal. It was like, it's just a special we offer for our teachers. And that was what it was. But on the other side, is I've seen some horrible deals come out of credit unions. And this is what the guy was saying on his VA loans. But we're talking about in general. I'm in Los Angeles. I just checked last week a lot of rates in my local area. And I was pretty surprised on sometimes with banks and credit unions, the purchase side might be strong, but the refi side is not quite as stronger. And what I want to say is what you should do, at least my opinion, is get a couple rates. And I want to go over in how to shop and what you'll need. In this, I took a couple thoughts, and let's say in California, average loan amount's 500, 700, a million. Unlike a car, where if it's a quarter point or half a point, that might be $10, $12. But let's say a $500,000 loan, one place is at 3.5% APR, another place is at 3%. That's $137 a month, and that's $49,393 over the contract of 30 years. So let's basically almost call that 50 grand, which 50 grand is about $70,000 worth of earned income you have just to pay that, which is a lot of money, right? But the VA guy was saying he's seen bigger gaps. I'm like, wow, bigger gaps than 50 grand. And he's like, absolutely. So my theory is this: get a couple quotes. Get a quote from your credit union. Get a quote from your local bank. Get a quote from a mortgage broker. Realistically, all three quotes should be able to be done in less than 10 minutes. So if we're looking at that scenario that we just did just now, $50,000 for 10 minutes might be a good investment. But there's a lot of other questions that you need to ask. First and foremost, speed. There's places right now, the industry is really wide. Some places can do these refis in 2 weeks. Some places are taking 2 months, and we still see places taking over 3 months. First, me personally, I like things done quick. But the second part of, if you're saving, let's say $200 and place takes four months, that's $800 you lost on your savings. The second part you need to ask is money out of pocket, is what are my fees, right? Some places have something called an overlay, which means you may or may not get an appraisal waiver. We can actually go on that. I should probably put together another video. And the second part is like the turn times and what's available on that part of it. Now that you've got into what the rates could be, here's the way to really shop. It is my opinion. This is not anything written. I've sold cars for a few years, and you'll hear mortgage people, you'll hear car people say, hey, what's the best rate you've gotten so far? Or even worse, they say, can you send me over everybody else's quote? To me, that's kind of like in high school or college or whatever. It's like, hey, can you give me your homework, or can I cheat on your test? Like, it's almost like this guy doesn't know what he's doing. To me, I helped a friend buy a BMW last week. And one of the three guys, I usually try to get 3 quotes, whether it's a credit card, a car, or a mortgage, real estate, anything. And one of the guys of the 3 quotes said, hey, send me over everybody else's quote. I'm from the Midwest. I was like, no. And no, it's boom, hung up on it. It was over. It was just that fast. We don't play shenanigans here. We just make sure you're getting a good deal. You don't need to go back, forth, make this uncomfortable, unfun. You're here to save big money, and it's a nice thing. Rates have dropped. There's a statistic that 30 to 40% of people still are paying over 75 basis points, is going close to a point more than they should be. The second part of that is if the guy won't give you a rate up front, just be done with them. Just that fast. There's a lot of business out there. And I hope that this helps you, and I hope that you can save some money. If you can take some of that money, put it into an investment, put it into your kids' college fund, or just go out for an extra dinner or two every month. Nice